Welcome back to Crafting with Rocks. This is Aholibamah, and I have made a drastic mistake in underestimating the power of this farm. So I jumped in to look at what was going on, and a tree grew, and it started exploding things before I could get out, and I lost quite a bit of my stuff. If you look here, I've lost my pants, my helmet, my sword, and my shovel, and my ender chest in the process. Oh, and my bow. So that'll take me a minute to recover. And I'm going to get on that. So, but first, I have also switched it to be red nylium. So that's what we're running currently. And if I don't get killed by this, run. There we go. Then we're gathering the red now because I have quite a bit of the cyan, the warped stuff. So I will get on regaining my gear and I will get back to you in a moment. Okay, so I think I have mostly repaired my gear and got it back to a reasonable state, with the notable difference of I don't have a bow yet. But I'm going to upgrade my items here with the help of these furnaces, or furni as some call them, and some gold. Gonna need a little bit of that, aren't I? That's a little bit too much, so we'll put 2 back. Okay. So we'll pull some of that out. We'll wait for this to finish. Pull some of that out, and we'll convert the first couple. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and convert the armor so we can put it on. Holy bucket and wolf pants. Okay. With that, I think we should put away some of these. Oh, looks like this one ran out. That's not good. Hopefully there's enough. 2 more. Come on, you can do this. Go, 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 go. One more. Come on. Do it. Do it. All right. Okay. So now we will upgrade the last 2 pieces of gear back to netherite, and we will not step into the blast chamber again while it's turned on, because that is a bad idea. Okay, so we've got our gear back, with the notable shortage of a bow, but I will work on that. Welcome back to Crafting with Rocks. This is Aholibamah, and this is episode 50, which is a tour episode. We'll start at the end. What I've done here is I've added another slice to the sorter for crimson stems and swapped out the nylium for crimson nylium. Oh, looks like some of it converted over to netherrack, so I'm gonna have to go in there and fix that. And we've run it for a little while. This side gets significantly less than the other side, but we've got that much crimson and that much warped and that much shroom lights. Then on this side that gets more, we've got almost a full chest, and then less, and then about that much again. So that's what we've got here. I did have a problem, probably from unloading chunks, where one of the TNTs was gone. So I had to go up there and rebuild some stuff to make that work. But I got that taken care of, and it's no longer an issue. So I turn it off now before I leave the chunks, which is what we're going to do now. So this is our library that we have yet to fill with librarians. Our latest addition is this Fire Protection 3. He also has Protection 4. I was shooting for Fire Protection 4, but after days and days of trading, the best I could get was 3, so I kept him, and I figure I can work my way up from there. So that's our library. Over here we have a couple cartographers, just so that we can say we have them, and we can get a map to take us to a mansion at some point. That's something we have yet to do. Maybe they'll eventually have maps that lead to pillager towers, because that's what I'm currently in need of. And over here is our, can't even think, drowned farm. If you come down here, this is the killing chamber, where they all wander into after they chase down the turtle egg. So it gives me a lot of drowned heads. And we'll come back up and cross over the bridge again. Going down from the library, we have the storage room with automatic sorters for all of my deep storage. So over here we have endstone, quartz, all the nether blocks that I might have a lot of, and then the overworld. Still don't have enough emerald to put one in there, but all the overworld blocks, and then some random storage around the place from projects that I brought back and don't have a place for yet. Lately I've been bartering with piglins and putting a lot of that stuff in, so we'll have to deal with that soon. I need to put sorters there so that I don't have to run back and forth as much. Oh, we'll work our way down the tower. That'll be a convenient way if I can remember what I'm doing. Okay. This is our Pickle Farm. Currently it has just a slight bit of bone meal left, so we can run it for a minute. So it lets the water run, bone meals, and now it's out of bone meal. And then it squashes them down, and they flow over into these hoppers and into the chest eventually. I'm not currently in need of a whole lot of pickles. Here's our fishing hole. It's large enough and has our cat to protect me from any random beasts that might want to come attack me while I'm fishing. The key being the phantoms. Okay, we'll go down to the next floor where we have our automated farm. This is our wheat farm. It's the only thing on this floor so far. He gathers the wheat, and his inventory is full of seeds, and he can't quite get to the composter to compost the seeds, so he can't pick up the wheat. And underneath is a minecart with hopper running back and forth that will pick it up, except that it's full currently. So let's go deal with that a little bit. I can get rid of some of the seeds out of that minecart with hopper, and then it'll work better. Here we have our other 4 farms. Throw away the seeds because we don't need those. Okay, there we go. So over here is our bread farm that is producing quite well. On rare occasions, it also picks up seeds and wheat. Over here is our carrots, beetroots, and over here is potatoes. Okay, down below here, we have our wandering people for trading. So we've got the masons, the leather workers. We have a whole one cleric, and then over here we have some butchers. That's what it is. And then we have a few things for trading with them in these chests. Okay, and they can wander out here and enjoy the view, check out the sunset, do what they will. And below them, I've got this blocked off so they can't accidentally wander in here. We have our portal area and a honey/slime block drop to the killing chamber for the piglins. The zombified piglins fall down, and what doesn't kill them kills them. So if they don't die from fall damage, they die from the wither rose, and then the hoppers underneath gather up their bits. And I completely missed that floor. We'll go back up. Okay, and then eventually their bits end up in this sorting system. Oh, that I need to empty. I've been doing a lot of AFK today, so it has filled up quite a bit. I will take care of that right now. These guys are here just for this purpose. Thank you. Okay. And I'll come back and take care of the rest, but for now, let's empty this out. Over here we have a cocoa bean farm. Over here we have beeswax. And over here we have our honey farm. Fully automated. Over here we have melons and pumpkins coming in from the first island that we created. The first offshoot. And this is from when I used to do manual killing. This is where I would smelt up the swords. Our vine farm. Working our way down. We have the bamboo farm that feeds most of our smelters around here, including this smoker, which smokes our dried kelp. After collecting a chest full of kelp, the rest of it comes into here to be smelted, but it doesn't work really fast. That's, from the beginning of time until now, that's how much we've smoked. And this is our extra bamboo storage from this. It feeds into that smoker and this chest, and over here it feeds into this furnace, which does our green dye. And after that it fills up this cactus chest, and after that it all gets composted and helps to grow the kelp. Over here we have our iron farm storage, which it hasn't been running so well since the actual release of 1.16. This is our slime, This is where all the poppies get sorted, and they automatically go straight into the composter to feed into that. And then this is other random stuff, including when my daughter played with me, she lost some Depth Strider 3 boots that I gave her. And a couple of wandering traders wandered down there. So that is the tower. Oh, hey, we can take this one off the wall. We finished it. We're getting short on farm ideas for the time being. So apart from that, we have our smelter. This is 64 furnace array that you put it in here and it automatically runs down and distributes with minecarts. And it's designed by Iscal85, except for the way I feed in the fuel from the bamboo farm, because the zero tick that was in his design no longer functions. And it's all down below here. Over here is the iron farm that isn't currently working, and the slime farm that is. It currently works fairly well from all viewpoints that I've seen. I've lit up the area within our walls here so that things shouldn't be spawning very often. But this is our manual tree farm for the 6 kinds of trees from the overworld. Over here is our general storage that isn't for deep storage. And upstairs is a trading hall. Librarians on this side and everyone else over here. Let's go ahead and get some rest. And then we can go take a look at some other things. This is our ink farm. It feeds up into here. It also gives us some fresh salmon. A lot of fresh salmon. Over here, the tree farm I was telling you about, and underneath we have a villager breeder. I feed these guys carrots, and then they have babies. The babies try to jump on the beds, and they end up jumping into here and growing up. And then I gather them in my converting area right over here. My converting area is currently feeding into the library upstairs. See, they're right through that corner, so I put in a minecart and it picks up a villager and takes them up there to get converted into a zombie villager. When they convert, they automatically fall out of the minecart into here, so I splash them with weakness and give them a golden apple, and then push this button to send them on their way up to there, where again, after they convert, they automatically fall through and a converted villager ends up here, which I can send back to convert again, or I can send up on their way to somewhere else. This is where I've gotten all the villagers that we use in crafting with rocks. This is the place if I need to replace those husks. So if the husks have a problem and I need to get rid of them, then I open this and dig out the one dirt block and then drop some new ones in. Okay, we'll continue over here. Okay, this is our flower farm that also gives us items from the nether blocks. So it shifts the floor and bone meal's underneath, and then I collect it manually. There was a bug in the previous snapshot where it couldn't grow any flowers, but they fixed that, thankfully. So now, toss all my flowers in here and they get sorted. And the things that I have too much of, I put up here. So you can see the sorters down here, all the different flower types, and bone meal, which is what's being made from those things that I have too much of, like warped roots and crimson roots. And I've got plenty of wheat seeds in various places that I don't need more. Here is my manual farm that I rarely use anymore. In fact, I might take it out to replace it with a different kind of farm in the near future. Here's our brown mushrooms that we should feed. Oh, look. The villagers that wandered over the carpet trick has wandered right in here. What a great shepherd. Smart guy. Now you're stuck there and you're going to get slaughtered when it comes time to harvest cows. Down here, there was a red mushroom in there before. Maybe he's in the house now. I don't see him. Anyway, this is our guys that we have specifically to get a hoe, is why I got these toolsmiths. So I've got 3 toolsmiths if I ever need to purchase tools, and one of them sells diamond hoes, so I can replace those without using diamonds. Okay, over here we have our automated sugarcane farm, where if I have this chest less than full, it will automatically go through there, send the harvester across and back, and collect all the sugarcane. This is my very manual netherwort farm. My, also very manual berry farm. And then over here, we have a few of my daughter's structures that she builds when she's playing on my world. And over here is the stables right next door to her, where we keep the horses and donkeys and such. And last but not least, we have the wool farm. Right over here, with each color of sheep. Only a few of them have shears in them because I was only low on a couple types of wool. So I think at this point, the only one with shears still in it is the black wool. And this is carpet with on top of signs so that nobody will wander over it, but apparently that doesn't function to keep them out anymore. So my guys have wandered right across it and around the farm and somehow ended up in the mushrooms. And the other guys have wandered out of the house and just kind of meandered all over the place, and I'm not sure where they are. Some of them have wandered back in at some point and then wandered out again. And down here, we have our mine, which is not very interesting. Whoa, that was almost a perfect flight. This was our original setup that we used for the first few days. Some first storage, and the skeleton farm over here that I AFK at to get bones for the new fungus farm. So skeletons fall in, wash up, drop down, you know, the usual, with an enchanting setup. And this stairway also leads down to the mines that I have begun emptying out. So over here we've emptied them all the way down to the bedrock and then put in a non-spawnable floor with sea lanterns underneath and black glass on top. Eventually this area should all look like that, but it kind of happens piece by piece, little by little. Currently we've dug out as much as 2 beacons will allow us. There's our second beacon, and there's our first one. And the slime farm was part of the first one. So the first one does reach further that way than the slime farm, but I don't really plan on mining that out so much. And then our entrance to the Nether, where we have a piglin trading area directly up these stairs. Right up here, where, wow, that was a little bit of lag, where one button press will feed either one of them. And then a monostable circuit here that sends out a brief pulse to this OR gate that triggers the dropper whenever anybody throws something in the hopper. So it works fairly well, but it's not a perfect system. Nimbon has designed better ones. And then over this way, we have some piglins that'll get aggressive at me if I get too close. Let's go ahead and fly. Up here is our starter house for when we lived in the Nether with nothing. We built this, and it still has much of our supplies in it, including the respawn anchor and all the tools that we gathered while we were here, including this sword, which was in a bastion, and the 4 diamonds we had left when we left. So I've gathered out a lot of the supplies to return them to the overworld base. But that was our beginner base. Let's take off over here where we have our wither skeleton farm. Don't mind him. He's just hanging out. And I have buttoned up the Nether for the most part in the vicinity near it. The wither skeleton farm being in the middle of all these buttons so that it's surrounded by a non-spawnable area and spawns more wither skeletons inside. So they spawn and they see the iron golem, then they rush toward him and fall in the hole, and I catch them at the bottom of the hole. There's 2 floors for it. It looks like he could use some fixing up. If I remember right, I left some iron. Yeah. So if I've got enough life. Come on. You, come over here. Come play with us. And then I'll fix up the golem. Okay. Run through, run through. Run out. Okay. And we're safe. Put that back. And he will live to fight another day. Have to check on him from time to time to make sure he doesn't die, because I think there's magma cubes that spawn elsewhere and then fall in and get at him. And then they fall down here. And I kill them and their stuff goes in these chests. And then I have a spot for these. Right there. That's where I store the stone swords. And that about sums up what we have on the nether side. We do have a beacon right where we came out into the nether. And it is set up so that I could gather blackstone, but I don't use that anymore because there's a better way with piglin bartering now to get blackstone in this this new snapshot, which I appreciate greatly because I don't want to have to tear apart my entire nether just to get enough blackstone to build something. So it's nice that it's renewable now. I will bring you back when I get back to the overworld. So I came back and slept, and now we're ready to check out the other distant places that we have. So, just, excuse me. Oh, had to sneeze. Okay, so what we have here is this is our trail to get to the mushroom biome. And this trail leads us over to the witch farm. And right beyond it, you can see the portal to the spider farm. So we'll check out the witches first. I have seen some new ideas for some possibly more productive witch farms, but this is the one we have. They wash into the water column and wash their way up here, and then they either cram themselves to death or I do that. I can AFK here and let them just die by entity cramming, or I can take them out myself, and then their stuff gets automatically sorted down there. And then we get all kinds of lost in these portals. Not too far from there is a double spider spawner that we have. We have one over here. They fall down and die, and then a minecart collects their string. And one over here. And then I can go down and gather things out of the chest. All the way down. We have all the string we could ever want. And the minecart comes by and drops off some more. So that is the string farm that I hardly ever visit these days, because I don't use that much string. Okay, I will pick you back up in a minute. Having returned on the green trail, we have over here the path to the mesa biome and the path to the guardian farm. So we will follow this path to the guardian farm and see what we can see there. I have an extra portal there that I tried to create and it didn't link up right, but I figured out the problem and I linked up a new one that does. But I left this one because it goes to an area in the sky, so that was kind of neat. I wanted to leave that. This one comes to an island just outside of my guardian farm. That is a guardian farm over there. They wash up bubble columns to the top, and then they flood over into the chamber and wash down the elephant's trunk. And then they get killed at the bottom, either again by entity cramming or my sword. And there's an auto sorter in there as well, and I have a few fishermen villagers that I can trade their stuff with. There is our portal in the sky in case I want to make a skyblock area in the future. And this is how I got all of the planks to make the... Sorry, we'll wait for that to finish. I grew trees there to get the wood to make all the gates. Now, if I follow that to here, then I can go almost straight this way, and we find two more things. One is the Hogland Farm, and underneath it is the portal to the end. So the Hogland Farm is just your basic design where they get scared by the warped shrooms and then they run to the middle, fall through the trapdoor trick, and then they burn on these soul fires because soul fires burn twice as fast. Well, burn entities twice as fast. And this takes us to the end, where we had a lot of piglins wander through. I can tell they were piglins because that one has a crossbow. A lot of piglins wandered through and became zombified, and then they just hang out here. And then down this way is the path to our Ender. You just got to believe it, and then it'll appear before you. Ah! So that's the path to the Ender out there. We don't need to walk the whole way. You guys know what an Ender is. And then up here, we've begun the process of clearing out the land and making it flat for fighting the Ender Dragon. And I've done a few fights that we've all seen. So this is my haste beacon to mine either the pillars, like I've done there, or to mine this out. And I mine it out from here, and then I go out and put it around this edge to make that leveled off, because this was a great big drop off over here. And if we wander out here, we can see, yeah, great big drop off. So I'm filling this in so that we don't have to worry about falling off. And then under here is where we usually get wither roses. We set up the wither without with missing one of the heads, and then we throw a bunch of chicken eggs. Then we throw some potions of poison so they're almost dead, and finish spawning the wither. When he explodes, it kills all the chickens and they become roses. So that's kind of handy. I could set up a better one eventually, and I might do that at some point, but I haven't had the need yet. So here we are back at the village. And that's the end of our tour. Hi, how you doing? So that's going to conclude episode 50, and I'm going to stay here and mine a little bit more wood before I continue on with the next plans. And I will catch you next time. Remember to do well, do good, and rock on.